SoundOff, Louisiana's premier television sports talk show, is on deck from the Caesars Sportsbook at Horseshoe Lake Charles. The three wise guys are mic'd up and ready. SoundOff begins now.
Dizzy show. Glad to have you spending some time with us tonight. You carved out some time. We're in the spacious confines of the Caesars Sportsbook, Horseshoe Lake Charles. He's back from earlier in the week. Our resident NFLer, ex-LSU.
You didn't change clothes?
No, Kevin Guidry is off this week. Jim Gazzola from
Limited Budget
Nation and Podcast has so kindly joined us to sit in for KG. Guidry, of course, he's off doing busy political stuff and being.
When he shows up at McNeese games,
yeah,
he brings an energy to that table that is like no other.
Well, he doesn't shut up for one thing.
Yeah.
He's constantly asking you a question.
Say whatever you want about my man Kevin Guidry. He's got energy.
He does have energy.
He doesn't realize the rest of us are working there. Right there.
Thanks for coming out of the bullpen, so to speak, to fill in for Guidry this week. All right, get ready. 1/2 hour of the best sports talk and debate in the entire state of Louisiana right here. We got Cowboy basketball to talk about, regular season, getting ready for the tournament, close of the season, some McNeese baseball we're going to get into. We're going to definitively kind of this. Is it 12? Is it 14? Is it 16 or more when it comes to the CFP, college football playoffs? We're going to nail everybody down because I've got thoughts on that in regards to the SEC and the Big 12 and all this. Hey, we need like 5 guaranteed, whatever. That we're going to float the idea of Alvin Kamara. Should they put him on the block and trade and try to get some assets? 41. We'll talk about that. That's coming up. All right, let's get it going with Cowboy basketball again. Earlier in the week, we talked about the season and how it's gone and this. I think, Jim, they're hitting their stride. You listen to Wade. I know he pokes a lot of fun at you and jabs you on this, but if you listen to him, he likes the transition. He likes the extra shots. He thinks their defense is coming around. He thinks that all these plugs, and he's like the Wizard of Oz guy. It's starting to come together. I see it. I don't know what you see, but I see it.
Let me jump in first.
Jump in.
He doesn't throw around compliments casually.
No, he does not.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
So if he's doing that, there's something
and he has been hard on this team.
And I think he likes the trend, but he doesn't like some of the things when they still go back and slip into the negative.
Yeah.
And I think he sees too much of that. Look, this team he came back to win a tournament game in the NCAA.
Exactly.
There's nothing else that matters to him right now.
That's how this team will be.
And that is yes, and that's going to depend on the seeding. They're going to be a 12 seed if they get in, and they're going to be in either Providence or Seattle because that's where they send the 12s always. Right. And they're going to play somebody, and the matchup will determine whether they have a chance. Right. With that said, they have a point guard that's 6'6". They can compete on that level, but he makes mistakes at times. You can make mistakes and get away with it against the Nichols and the Corpus Christi. You can't do that against a team seeded 5th. You have to be locked down and you have to play a near perfect game for them to have a chance to win.
All right, let's go there. We had Quadir Copeland on the show. Was it last week or the week before?
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Look, I asked him that. He's a flashy player, and it's his style of Philadelphia basketball.
Yeah.
And I think that, and I've quizzed Wade right from the start. I think I asked him something about, the elation of Copeland and how he plays, and then the next second it's exasperation because of what he does. But I'll tell you this: if he gives you that 7-8 assists and just the spurts of energy going to the hole, I'll take the 2 or 3 turnovers.
Yeah, but you don't want to take the 6 or 7 turnovers.
No,
that's what we get into.
I got you, but I think it's a
and
fair trade-off.
they've got to be timely turnovers.
Well, you're right. That's a good point.
That is the key. Is when does he make them, and what's the flow? Last night he had 3 of the greatest passes we've ever seen there.
Fans need to realize what.
But
you're
then again,
talking
he
about.
tried to make 6 of the greatest passes.
I got
3 of them went out of bounds.
Yeah, and you see Wade. My eyes just automatically go to him, and he just.
Well,
hey, you're all right. Wearing red. I hope you're not an Atlanta Falcons fan. He's a Houston Rocket fan. There you go. We're not talking NBA, but we appreciate you coming by and visiting with us. All right. Live on tape right here at Caesars Sportsbook.
That's
It
the best
happened.
moment of the show.
It
That
happened.
hasn't happened in a long
It hasn't
time.
happened in a long time.
It's always
He's a
a
friendly fella.
good omen when that happens.
That Will Wade is a control coach.
Yeah.
And Copeland is at times out of control point guard. And that's where the
That's a strong statement, Jim.
He gets out of control. He gets going too fast, gets out of control, makes a couple of bad passes, reels in, makes great passes. Yeah.
You hit
Keeps
it, though.
things interesting.
You hit it, though. I mean, his body control and how he controls that ball around the rim and the passes he can make. I don't know if the fans realize how
He
good
can be the most dominant guy in this league because
Yeah.
he's a 6'6" point guard. We
It
don't
is.
have that. And he finishes at the hole. Problem is he only shoots 50% on his layups.
I know. I know.
So there you have the give and take. It's a great, we say a lot of times, that's a great move by Copeland.
I know.
Except for the finish.
Except for the finish. All right. This team goes 9 deep. You've seen it. Brandon Murray, an old friend of his from LSU days and on. Sincere Parker. These guys are coming off the bench, Scooter.
Yeah.
They could be starters on this team, but they're coming
Well,
off the
they've been
bench.
starters at big schools.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he goes 9 deep. This is, this is already a sleeping giant, and they're well awake in this league.
What do you mean? So they haven't been sleeping through this
What
week?
I'm saying in regards to in regards to this year, because they have fallen asleep at some stretches. I think they're awake now. That's just
They've
me.
been bored at times.
Yeah.
How much better are they right now, you think, than they were pre-conference? When I think some people are a little disappointed the record in that pre-conference, and they played a tougher pre-conference.
Played a much
than
tougher
they did a year
pre-conference.
ago.
Yeah.
But I think that people had so much expectations
Yeah.
that they're a lot better than they were. If they played this team, and a lot of this is Alan Breed if he was here.
Oh, my God.
But if they played Mississippi State tomorrow and played the same type of game, they would win that game.
Yeah.
They lost by what, 3-4?
Yeah.
They played Alabama to 8 points.
Yeah.
And that was when Alabama was really playing well.
Yeah.
If they can hit some three-point shots and open up some things inside for Shoemate, where he's good, because the only games they've lost, they've faced multiple 7-footers. That's the one thing that if you get a Gonzaga in the first round like they did last year, multiple 7-footers wore them down. If they don't have to face the multiple 7-footers, they get another team with 6'9", 6'8", 6'9", they can win.
You're already kind of blowing through the Southland Conference tournament. You're already got.
Well,
them in the NCAA.
because
That's what we're talking about.
Well, I know that, but
I understand that, but if they don't get there, then it's not a success anyway.
Yeah. Right. That's exactly what I've been
Yeah.
And that's not us
Boy,
saying
but
that.
I
That
gotta
was
push
them
back a little
saying
on
that.
that, man.
That was them saying it.
Yeah, I know, but high expectations. I think they've met these high expectations. They've been wonky at times, but a regular season, and if they win the tournament, I think expectations have been met. I'm sorry.
Well, if they win the tournament, yes. I think
Yeah.
to really put a crown on it, they need to break through with that one tournament win.
That makes them special.
NCAA.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one of the one of these bracket deals has them going to Seattle against Kansas, but that could.
And one of them has going to Marquette to play
Yeah.
Marquette in Providence.
Yeah. All right. Up against the clock, round 2. We got more football and some baseball to talk about. Stay right here.
There's nothing better than a game and great tasting Miller Lite. It's less filling, Miller Lite. Tastes great.
Never understood this argument. Let it be both. Miller and Miller. I like it.
What's bugging you?
Is it roaches? They're the first pest you think of for indoor bugs and a health threat. At J&J, we offer weapons to eliminate and prevent infestation of your home or business. Let us take care of what's bugging you. Contact us today for a free inspection.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
Coors Light. Choose chill.
Thanks for hanging with us. Big action right here at Horseshoe Lake Charles. Remember, Caesars reward cards. You get the swiping. You got a few more days in February. You got that mystery reward multiplier. You can win 100 times free credit. You come down here, you find that promotional kiosk, swiping, you got a chance to win. It's more prizes, more action right here. And we've got some great stuff coming up in the month of March. In particular, some kind of a big promotion around St. Patrick's Day. We'll tell you more about that in the coming weeks right here at Horseshoe Lake Charles. I want to go quickly back to McNeese basketball. I don't think he's talked enough about, and we didn't mention his name maybe early in Tuesday's show of him returning to Javon Garcia. I think he is a legitimate candidate for a Southland Conference Player of the Year. Candidate. I didn't say he could win it. I say he's a candidate. Agree or disagree, gentlemen? Javon Garcia.
Well, I wrote it, and now I regret it.
What? I missed it. What did you write?
I wrote that
he regrets because he agrees with you.
I wrote that because his numbers aren't. He should be the candidate. He should be the leading candidate.
Right.
And then he went out and had 2 bad games.
Yeah, he's had some less than stellar games.
He is their go-to guy at the stretch.
Yes.
How could it not be a Cowboy, though?
Because none of them are going to have the great number.
Yeah.
But Shoemate is coming, so maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, Garcia's been the most consistent player throughout the league.
Yeah.
Except for the exact 2 games after I wrote it.
Exactly. You put the Gregory on it.
But yeah, I think that's an interesting case of are they too good because nobody gets the numbers?
Yeah. No,
and that
good.
might be the case.
They spread it around.
Yeah.
Back to my earlier point.
But yeah,
you got Murray and Parker coming off the bench, and these guys could be starters. They spread the wealth around.
We're just now seeing Murray kind of getting healthy.
You're right about that.
And he looked fantastic last night. He looks aggressive. He looks far. He's the man in the league. I mean, he's built like a tight end.
One more thing about Garcia. They could be up by 10, 15, 20, 30 points, and the man is busting his ass on the floor, diving for loose balls.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care if he scored 22 in the game, or if he's got only 2. He's on the floor going for loose balls.
Yeah.
He's
with a broken nose.
He's just a great player in my opinion.
With surgery coming at the end of the year.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get back to college football. All right, bottom line. College football, the meetings in New Orleans with the SEC and the Big Ten last week. Meetings in Dallas this week with, what was it, 10 or 11 FBS commissioners, big powwow. Bottom line is we know the seeding and the rankings, the rank. We're going to get to that in a minute. 12, 14, or 16. You have been a staunch guy. I don't want this. I know
I have, and I was probably wrong.
You were what wrong? You were what wrong?
I was probably wrong. 12 teams did not ruin college football.
No, it did not.
I am totally backing off of my long-held deal that the one thing college football has more than any other sports franchise is a regular season that matters. To my astonishment, a 12-team playoff looming did not ruin the regular season.
I don't think so. You're right. I agree.
I will admit that. And it's not because of that that I want to, at least let's wait more than 1 year to see how 12 is going to work out.
Supposedly 25. This
what I'm
could
worried
go to 14.
about, I've gone the other way now. If you want to go to 16 or 18, you're cheapening the postseason.
I could buy into that. Where do you fall on this?
I like 12. I would like to stay at 12 for a while.
Yeah.
But they're going to expand, so let's get it to 16 because that's just going to be that makes sense.
Okay, but all you do then is open the door. What we really need is 24.
Well,
yeah, I know you're going to say that, and I agree with you.
They'll draw the line. They've got to draw the line on that.
They're not going to draw the line because of money.
But
this is. I would love to. That's what I say is I would love to stay at 12. I think the fact that all 4 teams lost their first home game in the second round is going to push it to, let's make it 16. Mm-hmm. But I would like 12.
I like 12. I can buy in on 14. You're going to have to convince me on 16. And I'm a big proponent of expansion. I've been banging that drum for years. It's got to expand. But I fall in line with you guys. Let's go another year with 12.
I'd like to say that.
And let's see where we are here. All right.
Do you really want to diminish the Cheetos Bowl, though?
A little bit, yeah, I do.
I think they've been diminished.
No, it's the best bowl out there.
And speaking of the 14, 12, 14, or 16, it's automatic quarterfinals. If the SEC and the Big Ten get 4 each, you do the math, Jim. All right, if we go to 12, if we stay at 12, what is it? 2 for the Big 12, 2 for the ACC, and Notre Dame's got to get something.
Rick, let's be let's be honest about this, shall we be? The Big Ten and the SEC meeting before the rest of them meet. Means they're going to tell you what the decision was.
Let's get our story straight.
So wait a minute. So you're saying 4 automatic qualifiers for the SEC and Big Ten is unequivocally going to happen,
and that's going to push it to 14 or 16.
So it's a ripple effect.
I think he's probably right.
That's going to be your.
I think it's a bad look.
It is a bad look. I can deal with 3.
The SEC, the Big Ten, and college football. It's a bad look.
I do. I agree.
You're just basically patting the others on the head.
The Big 12, the ACC, I mean, only 2. And then you got the group of 5, and you got the possibility of Notre Dame. Where are you going to put those guys? Okay, am I the only guy that thinks I like Power 5? Can we get another Power League?
No.
What do you mean no?
Well,
there's nothing else out there?
Well,
no.
because the SEC
West.
and Big Ten, it's already rearranged too much. I don't think you can't get that sand back in the bottle.
Exactly.
It's rearranged.
You're going to get a Power
much.
5. You're going to get a Power 5 because I think football is going to take over and be football only, and you're going to go back to your original 5 conferences in every other sport, and that's what you should do.
I don't know.
But not football.
That's awkward, though.
I know it is.
Very awkward.
See, that's my point.
You can't. You've made USC travel to Rutgers and to the Eastern Time Zone 4 times this year in basketball.
Yeah.
4 times in volleyball.
Yeah.
Now here's your other thing.
Baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah.
Now here's your other thing you've got to really consider when you look at all this is the ripple down effect is the WAC, is the Western Athletic Conference, which McNeese almost went into, will almost dissolve today with the announcement of 2 of their teams going into the Big West. So who's left in the WAC? So there's now another FCS conference that's going to be gone.
Yeah. But I'm talking about a Power 5 conference. You and I, the one thing that you and I have just bottom line agreed on was the dissolving of the Pac-10, Pac-12, whatever. I just saw it. It was just it was like a caving in of college football.
It all happened so quick.
So quick.
But you can't sustain it with no eyeballs. And when you're starting your games at 9 o'clock at night on the East Coast, people aren't watching it.
Figure it out.
I guess I'm a night owl.
Figure it out. Figure it out.
I understand that you figure it out, but you can't. It's a money grab. Why would you, if you're USC, go back there and play when you're now in a conference that's going to give you $25 million?
The money grab. Southern Cal and UCLA and all those.
There are
Oregon.
2 conferences that are paying you
mega
money. You're not leaving those conferences.
Others
want to get
money.
in those conferences.
And that's the demise of college football as we love it and know it. All right, up against it. We got much more. All right, round 3 of the show coming back. Stay ready.
Coors Banquet, the same brewing tradition since 1873. When you're the favorite beer of rock stars and cowboys, you don't compromise. That's our legacy. What do you want to go down in history for? Start your legacy. Coors Banquet.
What's bugging you?
Is it ants? They're crazy, tiny, irritating pests outside trying to get in. At J&J, we offer weapons to locate, eliminate, and prevent their entering your home or business. Let us take care of what's bugging you. Contact us today for a free inspection.
There's nothing better than a game and great tasting Miller Lite. It's less filling Miller Lite. Tastes great.
Never understood this argument. Let it be both. Miller and Miller. I like it.
Horseshoe Lake Charles, big fun, big win, big prizes right here at Horseshoe Lake Charles. Go on the website. They got stuff going on. We've been telling you about the mystery reward multiplier still going on through the rest of February. There's going to be more multiplying prizes to be added in the month of March. Big St. Patrick's Day promotion, of course. And there's going to be something going on here at Caesars Sportsbook, March Madness. It's coming up. Basketball is going to be ruling crazy right here at Horseshoe Lake Charles. No doubt about that.
Plenty of TVs for it.
Yes. A reminder, we got, of course, Jim Gazzola coming in from Polk Nation on CBS Lake Charles. It's Wednesday at 10:05. Wednesday at 10:05. And also Saturday. I think you follow us Saturday nights at midnight,
yes.
Right? Exactly right. All right. Also with Polkcast. That is Wednesdays on website and radio, right?
Yes.
Help me out with
92.9 The Lake at 6 o'clock live.
On Wednesday.
On Wednesday night.
Have you been invited to be a guest on Polkcast? No. Have I been invited on podcast?
No.
No.
That is not my show. I am just the
Oh!
host. I am just the MC. That is a McNeese.
Thank you very much for that. Hey, next week, speaking of McNeese and the like, next week's shows, Tyler Bolfing, the new OC that's coming in. Also, Coach Peck, Tony Pecoraro, will join us, talk about spring football and the like from McNeese football. That is on next week's show. Kevin Guidry will be back for that. Let's get back on the Saints. We talked about Kellen Moore earlier in the week and the staff. Staley at DC, OC. We got a myriad of guys that he has connections with. That's coaching, trust, connections. I want my guys there. Let's talk about this roster and impending free agency. Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys, that's why we have that helmet up there, because we do talk Dallas Cowboys, said for the Cowboys, and I'm going to get on the Saints, we're going to be selectively aggressive in free agency.
That's a way of saying nothing.
I don't know what that means.
That is a way of saying nothing.
In other words, if we don't get him, it's because we didn't want him instead of they didn't want us.
Yeah, we didn't want him.
Think they should have been a little more aggressive on Derrick Henry last year?
Oh my God. That is just mind-boggling. And now that you're on that, I read the quote for Jerry Jones. And the quote was, and I'm going to paraphrase it to a degree, is, well, we knew he was out there, but he just doesn't fit our offense.
He lives in Dallas.
He lives in Dallas. And he wanted to play for the, we're talking about
what is
Derrick
your
Henry.
offense?
You got no running game. That's beyond me. But back to the Saints and the roster situation. How can they be non-selectively aggressive when they're not going to have a whole lot of money? They don't have a whole lot of trade assets. Where do they play in that sandbox? Who do they go after? What do they go after?
My guess, I've said this before, the money will work out. It always does. I don't know how, but it always does.
All right.
My bigger question for the Saints is they got Kellen Moore. Is that who they were going after and waited for, or is that who fell to them? Because that is a big difference to me.
I think Glenn was their first choice, and that was the ultimate snub that you would jump in to that Jets dysfunctional franchise over the Saints.
Because the problem with getting Kellen Moore until the end of the Super Bowl is all the assistants, all the good assistants, you're now in line. You're not picking your choice.
Right.
You're getting what's left.
Well,
and they landed okay, but
he's getting some pretty good guys now. All right, we're talking about the Saints assistant coaches and that whole thing. This roster is a jumble. You're talking about the Dallas Cowboys being a jumble hot mess. The Saints are right there with it. You know the free agents out there. Everybody's going to wonder. Darnold, all right, T. Higgins, Josh Sweat from the Eagles, who tore up the Chiefs' offensive line, is a free agent. I don't see them. Who's going to want to come to this? Mike McCarthy didn't want this job. Aaron Glenn didn't want this job.
You have to overpay.
And how do you do that?
Well, there you get rid of some assets.
All right, so here's...
So everybody thinks it can't get any lower for the Saints. Did it look any lower after the Katrina season? Fired Jim Haslett.
No.
You get Sean Payton.
Yeah.
Now, of course, they fell into Drew Brees and Reggie Bush, but, things can turn around. What I hate is the notion of a struggling franchise like the Saints and they say, well, whoever takes the job, it's going to be a 4-year process. Well, it better not be.
No.
Because nobody has that kind of patience anymore. And if the Saints, after Katrina, could make the championship game the next year, it can be done.
You're going to stay on that story, and I'll let you. All right, I get it. I get it. And Washington proved you can turn it around quick if you had the right guy at quarterback.
Yeah.
And you got a little bit of assets around him.
And you got the right guy at coach.
They had a good coach, too, Dan Quinn.
And you had a great OC.
Yeah, exactly right, so it can happen. All right, Alvin Kamara, 41. He's going to turn 30 on my birthday, July 25th this summer, by the way. He's going to be at 30.
So y'all share the same birthday?
We do share the birthday.
Not same age.
I wish. Do you put 41 on the trade block? I know they just signed him to an extension and paying him damn good money as a running back. Do you do it? He's their one guy.
I'm talking from the heart, and I hope not. But if they did it, I would. explain it to me, and maybe I'll.
You got to sell me on it.
I'm of the opinion that he should be on the trade block, but you don't give him away.
Oh, no.
Oh, hell no.
So it's got to be the right trade for you.
You're right about that.
And he's an asset. It's like everything else, you look at the asset and what are you going to get for him?
Right.
But no, I wouldn't give him away, but I'd say, I don't think at that point with the Saints that nobody's untouchable right now, but he's going to be hard to get.
He's never been a 1,000-yard rusher, never.
No.
But he doesn't get that kind of touches, and maybe he's
Well,
not that
and
kind of
that's
back.
not counting his receiving
Exactly.
yards.
He'll give you
other
1,500
things.
from scrimmage.
Yeah.
He'll give you that.
I mean, how much do you think you can try to recreate at least a portion of the first two games? And what do you have that can get you? You were never that good, but you're not that bad.
And you think those first two games where we had them all in the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
that's before the injuries started.
Yeah.
So aren't they
Oh,
getting
my
some of
God.
those guys back?
Let's not go
And what are you
there.
getting back, and what can you add? And it's not a great division.
No,
No,
it's
it's
very
not.
winnable. I'm with you, Scooter. You're going to put Alvin Kamara out there. You better sell me on what you can get for it.
You better get a lot.
We don't have enough time to get on my rant about running backs, because running backs, in my opinion, in the NFL should be valued more than what they are. And Alvin Kamara is still a pretty damn
Especially if
good
they can catch the ball out of the backfield.
Exactly right. All right, final round of sound off when we come back to Caesars Sportsbook, Horseshoe Lake Charles. Stay right there.
Coors Banquet, the same brewing tradition since 1873. When you're the favorite beer of rock stars and cowboys, you don't compromise. That's our legacy. What do you want to go down in history for? Start your legacy. Coors Banquet.
What's bugging you?
Is it termites? The season is now and they are swarming. At J&J Exterminating, we offer some very effective weapons against infestation of your home or business. Let us take care of what's bugging you. Don't wait. Contact us now for a free inspection.
J&J has protected Louisiana homes and businesses for over 60 years.
Call him today, make the pests go away. J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
All right, we're back to Caesars Sportsbook. Hey, before we go, special thanks for coming in out of the bullpen, sitting in for Kevin Guidry. We appreciate that. Love having you here. You and me. I mean, I love that. Got that good energy, like that, energy. Kevin Guidry energy here. All right. All right. Baseball, McNeese Cowboys. We don't know. Our production was before the Cowboys and Cajuns game. How impressed? You two guys are more baseball than I am. I thought the series win over Wichita was a good shot. I think it was impressive. I don't know about Wichita State baseball.
Well, they were a powerhouse back in the day,
back in
and
the day.
still a traditional.
Yeah.
LSU's first two national championships were against Wichita
Was
State.
it really?
Yes.
Okay, so name baseball.
With Gene Stevenson as the coach, and
I was impressed. I know it's early.
They were good. And Wichita State won their league last year.
Yeah.
So they're not a bad team.
Yeah, UL came into the Joe after beating what? 23rd ranked
Nebraska 2 out of 3.
This is all early season stuff.
Two out of 3.
This is all early season stuff. All right, I got to get on this story.
And we know, just my little gentle reminder, when Kevin,
here we go.
when Kevin starts throwing his hands up, it's a long
baseball season.
And it's more so than any other sport, it evolves.
Let's talk about evolving quickly. PGA Live Tour, this should have happened at least a year ago. Reportedly, Tiger Woods wants to sit down with President Trump to help at least get his support on getting this merger. You and I are golf people. What is taking so long? You got to get the best golfers in the world on the same course.
But I don't know why it should be any concern of the President of the United States.
No, but
regardless
Thank you. But Trump, I know, but Trump can, because it all deals with the Saudis.
I know Trump's big into golf.
I know, but the Saudi,
I'd
the public
concentrate
investment
on
trust.
some other things.
Yeah, there's some
got a lot
other issues
to worry about. Make
I
it
think
happen.
Tiger's going to be fine either way.
Yeah,
Make it
and
happen
most
already.
of those golf
I want
millionaires
TGA and
are.
Live on the same day.